as much as I look forward to the holidays and am excited about them, I also get a little bit of anxiety just about all of the stuff that we need to do. I get a little bit anxious about all of the social gatherings, about all of the events that we will be attending, all of the late nights out, but also the amount of stuff that us magic makers need to make sure we don't forget. So all of the gift buying and all of the gratitude that we want to share around the holidays, all of the opportunities for volunteering and spreading joy to others. There's just a lot. I feel like there's not enough hours in the day, enough days in the week, enough weeks in the month for the holiday season. But I'm also trying to remind myself the reason for the season, and that it will all get done. All of the things that need to get done will get done. And if some things don't get done, that's okay too. So let that be a reminder for yourself as well if you're feeling a little bit of the crunch, the upcoming crunch that's headed our way. Just know that it's all going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You're doing your best. And it's also okay to ask for help. And take a little bit of time for yourself, because I think that is extra needed during this time of the year. So, with all that said, let's go ahead and light a candle to enjoy during our time together today. I have our cinnamon chai woodwick candle here. I did finally clean it up a little bit. Yep, that is the perfect scent for this time of year. So we will be able to enjoy the crackle of this candle in the background while we chat today. I'll just put this back here, and we can enjoy that glow together. And I'll tell you a little bit all slept over so that they could get up bright and early and get on for this pre-sale and get tickets to this concert, which they did get tickets to, and they're very excited about. My husband actually got tickets for 4 tickets for me and him as well, and my middle daughter and one of her friends, because my oldest daughter and her friends they can drive, so they'll go on their own. The concert's not until the spring, but everybody's very excited. I was sort of like, well, sure, we can go, why not, it'll be fun. So it's at a smaller venue, which for me is kind of important as far as concerts go. I don't love going to concerts in like giant venues where you're just like basically looking at a screen the whole time. Also, like that kind of crowd can is not like terribly comfortable for me. So this is like a nice small venue. Hopefully it's a nice night. It's an outside concert, so I think it'll be fun. So anyway, that was Tuesday, and then I also on Tuesday I took out all of, once a year, if you live in a cold weather environment, you know this drill, but once a year you have to bring out all of the snow gear, all of the ski gear, all of the winter gear, and see who fits into what and what gaps you need to fill. And I have 4 kids. They are all within 5 years, and over the years it's worked out pretty well actually, that I can hand down most stuff and just have to fill in little gaps here and there. The past few years I feel like I've been very lucky and haven't had to get much at all, but this year I was not so lucky. My 2 oldest kids are pretty much done growing, so they no longer have things to pass down. And my son is growing a lot, so he, unfortunately for my daughter, some of his things from last year fit her, which she's not happy about because she's 10 and she's like, I don't want to wear these ski boots. They're ugly. They're not like girly and pink or pale blue or purple. I said, well, too bad. For 1 year, you'll have to make it work, and your feet will grow next year, and we'll get you different boots. But my son has grown a lot, and will probably grow a lot over the next several years, and so he needed basically like new everything from like ski pants, jackets, like snow pants, like snow clothes, mittens, helmet, skis, boots, everything. So I have a long list of things for him. Hopefully they can mostly become like Christmas presents too, sort of like kill 2 birds with 1 stone there. But I also don't want to buy him like very expensive stuff because it's probably only going to fit him for 1 year. But anyway, I got that job done. That job is like my least favorite job to do this season, just bringing out all that stuff. I usually end up, and again this year I have a huge bag, 2 bags of donations for like the coats for kids and things like that. So a lot of stuff that I can hand down, donate, things like that. But quite a bit that I need to gather for my own children. But I did get that job done, which is good. Or the first part, everybody tried everything on, see what they need, and then I have my list that I need to tackle. I do try to buy a lot of things on like Facebook Marketplace or places like that, as far as like ski gear goes, because again, it's just like it's 1 season that it'll fit them. When they get older, like my oldest 2 kids, we have purchased them like a nice set of gear, thinking it's the last time we will be buying them a nice set of gear. From here on out, it should fit them forever. So when they're ready to upgrade in any way, then that'll be on them, I imagine. But we have done that for the 2 oldest kids. But let's see. And then that evening, I hosted my 10th annual Operation Christmas Child Shoebox gift collection. So for when I was in college, this goes back to when I was in college, my roommate, she introduced me to Shoebox Gifts, which is an organization, which is a project that is put on by Samaritan's Purse. And basically what you do is you take a shoebox, or you can order boxes from them directly, which is what I do since I have so many. But originally we started with just a shoebox, and we fill it with a gift for a child. And so you're shopping for either like a boy or a girl between the ages of 2 and 4, 5 and 9, or 10 and 14, and you fill it with things that they would love to receive for Christmas. And these boxes go to children, underprivileged children in other countries, people who live in poverty in other countries, things like that. So, for example, we would fill a box with, I always like to include some like personal care items like socks, a washcloth, hairbrush, soap, a toothbrush, sometimes mittens or gloves, but then also like a coloring book, a notebook, markers, crayons, watercolor paints, toys, little toys, a stuffed animal. I always like to put a stuffed animal in the boxes because boy or girl, any age, everybody loves a stuffy. Dolls, toy jewelry, toy cars, things like that. So anyway, about 10 years ago, I decided to open it up to my community, and I host an event. At the time, I hosted an event at my house, and I said, everybody bring 10 items of the same thing. So 10 yo-yos, 10 coloring books, 10 boxes of crayon, 10 whatever. And then everybody came together. We put it all out on a table. We take a box and we go around the table and fill the box with an assortment of things to see how many boxes we can assemble with a large group of people. It has since grown from that to I make a sign up, and people can bring as much or as little as they would like for toys. Like, and I collect throughout the year things like when my kids go to a birthday party, when they go to McDonald's, anything like that, any little toy that I think would be nice to add to the shoebox. It has to fit in the shoebox. Or like, just small things like that, as stuffed animals. If I am somewhere and I see a good sale on the right size stuffed animal or Barbie dolls or things like that, and I keep a box in my basement and I just collect throughout the year anything that I think would be a good addition. And so still once a year I have all of these it's my like moms, it's local moms mostly. It is 100% local moms. So it's people in our community who all come over, and it has grown to the point where we do it in my barn now. So we have like 4 tables filled with stuff. Some people, not everybody comes to assemble the boxes. A lot of people will just drop off donations or contributions into a bin that I keep at the end of my driveway throughout the weeks following up to this. The weeks leading up to this. And then again, we just put everything out and we fill the boxes, and we'll fill upwards of like 90 boxes, which is pretty amazing. And then I just fill up my car, and there's a drop off. This week is the drop off week, so I bring the boxes all labeled and marked to the designated drop-off area and deliver the boxes, and then from there they get shipped out to children in need for Christmas. And it's nice, they will let you know where they were delivered. So we've had boxes go to like Uganda, Botswana, the Ukraine, all over the world. So it's pretty cool, and it's a nice thing to sort of kick off the holiday season with as a community. It's nice to get everyone together doing something for others for the holiday season. I also have my children each collect build a box, so they will go to a store and go to Target, the dollar store, something like that, and they can fill a box for whatever, if they want to do it for a little kid or a teenager or whatever they choose to do. And then they also include like a nice handwritten card or letter or something in the box as well. So it's just like a nice tradition that we do. And this was the especially, I was like, oh my gosh, it's already November. I need to get the information out to everybody and start collecting things and whatnot. But we did it, even with my short notice that I gave everyone. Everybody pulled together, and we have some really great boxes that are going out to children in need. So it's nice to have that project done for this year. Let's see what else. My youngest daughter kicked off her basketball season with a doubleheader. She had her first game, and she had 2 games in a row. She played great. It's so fun to watch her as a little basketball player. It's something that my oldest daughter played basketball, and my son played basketball for a little bit when they were younger, but they never really loved it. They didn't stick with it, but she really likes it, and it's fun to watch her improve each year. And she played really great. I was really impressed with her at her game. She scored quite a few points, and it's funny, when we were on our way there, she wanted to stop at Dunkin' Donuts, and I said, we don't have time, and you don't want a belly full of donuts at your game. I said, we'll stop afterwards, and I was like, I'll give you $1 for every basket you score, thinking she'd get maybe 1 or 2 baskets, and she got a lot. So I had to be like, I amend my thing. I was just kidding. So I was like, how about if I get you a donut and a frozen hot chocolate, which is a treat for her. So we decided on that, and now I know better for her future games. So that was fun though. Fun to watch her and watch all of her friends. She's on 2 teams. One, she plays against kids, local kids, so we know the kids on both teams. And that was both of these games this week, so that's always fun because I get to cheer for the entire court. And then the other team she's on, she'll be playing other towns and schools and stuff, so I won't know that, but I'll probably still cheer for the other kids too. They're so small, and now that when they do anything that's really cool, it's hard not to cheer for just everybody. And then Saturday night, my husband and I actually went to a gala. This is a gala that we go to once a year. It's for Habitat for Humanity, and it's always really fun, and a wonderful organization to support. So it was really nice. They had a beautiful what do they call it? I don't know, backdrop for pictures, and a professional photographer. So if I can get my hands on one of the pictures, I'll put it in here so you can see us. I didn't buy a new dress or anything for the gala. I actually wore a dress that it was funny. I've had it a long time. My husband, I put it on, and he's like, so last year I wore a beautiful gown. I loved it so much. It was so pretty, but I felt even though it was a gala, I feel people kind of it was more semi-formal. So this year I was like, I'm not gonna buy a dress, I'll just wear one that I have. But I put it on, and he goes, that looks so much like a dress that I got for you 20 years ago for Valentine's Day. And I was like, that's because it is the dress you got for me 20 years ago for Valentine's Day. So he got a kick out of that. He was like, I can't believe you still have that dress. And I was like, honestly, I can't either. I don't hang on to anything. But it was stuffed in my closet somewhere, and I was like, well, I'll wear this. It was long sleeves, so that's why I wore it, because it was kind of chilly. But it was really nice. They had tons of auction items. They had really yummy cake pops. I brought home a bunch of cake pops for my kids. Italian, like a trip to Italy. And I did bid on that. I love a live auction. They're so fun, but ooh, they're dangerous. You can really get roped in. So I was bidding on that, but then it got too rich for my blood, and I stepped out. So we didn't end up winning anything at the auction, but it was fun. And then a bunch of the people that were at the gala came back to our house to hang out afterwards. I did not. I went to bed, but they did hang out. And then on Sundays, I make a chore chart for my kids, and it's very simple. I think I mentioned this last week actually, or the week before, but I just take a piece of paper, make a little grid, put their names, put the chores. In the grid, I always make a line for my husband as well, some things I need him to get done. And this week I added a line, and I put like the pile of names that are the kids that sleep over at our house every weekend, the girls that sleep over every weekend. There's like 6 of them. So I added their name at the bottom, and I gave them a list of chores too. It was so funny. They came upstairs and they were like laughing, and they were great. They're like, okay, yeah, we'll do our chores, which was funny. But I basically just had them clean the playroom, which is where they all sleep every weekend. I was like, clean the playroom, clean the bathroom down there, vacuum down there, which is their mess because they're the ones who use that space every week. But they thought it was funny, and they were very happy to contribute. But I'm like, if you're going to be here all the time, you need to contribute too. It was cute. And then one day this week as well, my daughter, their friend, that's why they're always here. Well, one of them is my niece too, so my niece and my daughter are best friends and part of the same like friend group that stays over. But one night, a couple of them just came over and ended up having dinner, and my daughter wasn't even home. So I'm like, we've reached a new level of comfort with our other kids, our bonus kids. They just come over for dinner without their friends. So it was very sweet. I love them so much. It makes me so happy that they feel comfortable doing that. And then, let's see, so that was Sunday. Again, I started feeling a little bit of this like drowsy tiredness during the day, which I hate because I want Sundays to be like a day of like, well, rest, but also like getting things done and ready for the week. So I did try to do a little bit of a reset, get as much like tidying up as I could. I did, like I said, I gave the kids chores, so I had them help me get their laundry started, things like that. And then we had a banquet for my daughter's volleyball season. My oldest 2 daughters, they completed their high school volleyball season. It is over. And so they had a nice banquet. It was catered by Olive Garden, and they ended up with so much food. They actually sent us home with a whole box of like a catering meal, which is like fettuccine spaghetti, Alfredo meat sauce, regular sauce, the amazing breadsticks, chicken, meatballs, Italian sausage, like so much food. I came home and like spread it into individual containers and put them, not individual ones, but made like regular meal size containers, not like catering sized, and put them in the freezer for future dinners. I was like, you guys don't have to send it home with me, it's fine. But they had so much, they actually brought 2 of those boxes to the fire station. Everybody was taking food home, but it was very generous and kind of them to send our family home with a whole big box. But the banquet was really sweet. It was so nice hearing the coaches just recognize and acknowledge the girls. They gave out some awards, and it was really nice because I had the pleasure of watching both one of the JV teams and the varsity team, and so seeing the awards that were given, they were so well deserved, and it was just really nice. It's a really good organization. There's no drama. There's no the coaches are really wonderful. They all work together well. The kids work together well. So it's really nice. And the parents are all wonderful too. And seeing their support for the kids is always great. My oldest daughter did receive, she got a varsity pin because she's on the varsity team. And then she also received, she made the all-star team. So that was exciting to hear her get that award. The coach said that for the all-star team, what they do is the coaches for the entire league get together and they pick, I think she said 14 kids total, to make the all-star team. And coaches were like, the kids from the other teams always get annoyed when my daughter's on the court because they don't want to have to get, deal with her blocks or whatever. I don't know. It's so funny. She was like, they're scared of her blocks. It's so funny because if you know my daughter, there's like nothing to be scared of. She's like the sweetest, most like, I don't know, not delicate. She's not delicate, but she's mild. She's like a very mild-mannered sweetheart. So it was fun to hear that. But it was great. It was a really nice banquet and a great way to wrap up their season. The girls, my daughters made cards for their coaches, and then everybody signed those cards, and we put them in the gifts that we got them. We ended up getting them. I was in charge of gifts, so I collected funds from everybody, and I got them each a bag with like a Vera Bradley cozy blanket, candle, a mug, and tea, and cozy socks. I just filled the bag with fun things like that. And then we got them a gift certificate to a restaurant, a gift certificate to Dick's Sporting Goods, and then there's one guy coach. He's an assistant coach, and I just got him a gift certificate to the gift certificates, and then a water bottle because I didn't know what else to get him. But the girls just like filled the cards with all of these wonderful sentiments for their coach, which is so nice, and it's probably so nice for the coaches to read that. So anyway, that was how we wrapped up our week, and it was a highlight for sure. So anyway, let's do, I do have one other thing to show you. I finished, you guys are probably so sick of hearing about my crocheting, and I'm sorry, I'm just keeping you abreast of my goals and what I'm working on, but I had mentioned that I just had 2 things to finish before I could start working on like my Christmas projects, and last week I finished this blanket, and this week I finished my brown blanket, and this is, let me see if I can, I think I mentioned last week that it was like a pretty simple pattern, and it was, and I said that there was no trim. I don't know why I said that. There was definitely trim. There's definitely a border, but you can see the entire blanket is this sort of repeating, hold on, can you see? It's like a repeating, just like a simple, I'm trying to remember what it is. It's double crochet with a single crochet at the top here. It actually goes this way. I don't know, you probably don't care. But anyway, the border is like this, kind of a pretty border. So it's a pretty big blanket. Oh, let me see here. Try to show you the whole thing. But I think it'll be a nice cozy blanket to have on like the couch or on like a chair downstairs in our living room after all the Christmas decorations go away. I will put that out. So far my cat has been, one of my cats, I folded it up and I put it on the kitchen table so I could show everybody when I was done, my kids and stuff. And immediately my cat, like my cat Grace, the gray one, she climbed right on and got nice and cozy in there. So she likes it. I'll put a picture of her here. I'll show you a picture. This is Grace cuddling on the blanket when I made it. It was very cute. She makes me laugh. She's all cats have quite a bit of character, really. They're a wild beast. But that one in particular, Grace, she is such a character. She's so funny. She's very loud. You can't walk by her without her like saying hi to you and talking with you, and she rules the roost in my house too. Like the dogs are terrified of her. She's never like done anything to them, but she'll stare them down and they know like, okay, Grace, you win. Or she'll sit like on the chair on my desk chair, which is sort of like in the middle of everything downstairs, and she'll sit there, and the dogs are like stuck. They can't walk by her, even though they could. She wouldn't do anything, but it's pretty funny. But anyway, Grace really likes this blanket. So now that I'm done with that, I am going to work on my Christmas blanket and then also Christmas gifts. And I mentioned what I'm going to be doing for those, some bookmarks. I think what I'm going to do is for like maybe like my mom already read, and then put a homemade bookmark in it. So I thought that'd be like a fun way to sort of like give the bookmark, but I don't know. I guess I could buy them a new book, but I think it'd be kind of fun to just give them like a used book. I don't know why I find that more charming than a new book, but a book that I've read and enjoyed and want to pass along. So bookmarks, headband, like ear warmer headbands, and ornaments. So I think I'm going to do little Christmas tree ornaments, and then actually just use them on, like if I wrap the book, I'll put the ornament outside of that as like a garnish, a decoration for the wrapping. But I'm going to start working on that stuff now that I'm done with this blanket. Okay, let's do a Q&A card. I have a trip coming up soon, so I have some I got my nails done in this, what is this called? French manicure, which I feel like is like kind of summery or springy, but going to a warm weather environment, so I thought we'll go with these. And my nails have been a little shorter lately, so these are a little bit longer. Okay, let's see. Hopefully I haven't had this one. Nope. I have had that one. Let's try. Okay, I don't think I've had this one. Okay. Okay, if you were an artist, what would you paint on your first day? If I were an artist, sometimes I consider myself an artist actually, but if I was like a very skilled and talented artist, I think it'd be really fun to paint a series of our homes, like the first house or condo building that my husband and I lived in, our first home that we bought together, our cabin, things like that. I think that'd be really special. Maybe like paint a picture of the home I grew up in for my parents. I think that'd be really cool. That's something I could do. That's something I could do, but I think that would be neat. I also think painting people is really hard, but it'd be really cool if you were like a portrait artist. Not a portrait, I wouldn't want to do a portrait, but like maybe if I had a picture of, like for example, I have this picture of me holding my son when he was a brand new baby. It was like newborn photos, and it's like almost like candid, but I think that'd be like a beautiful painting to have as well. So, and it's like it would be representative of just like my motherhood journey with all of my children. That was a period of my life that I cherish so much, that period of time with new babies. So anyway, maybe something like that would be nice to be able to paint. Okay, what do you know that you aren't supposed to know? What do I know that I'm not supposed to know? Well, if I told you, then wouldn't I then be sharing a secret that I'm not supposed to know? I can think of a few things off the top of my mind, but they're not things I'm going to share here. Let me think, is there anything small? I immediately went to like big bad things. What do you know that you aren't supposed to know? Yeah, none of the things that are coming to mind are things that I can share with the world, so I'm not going to. Number 3 is, what makes you cry? What makes me cry? Everything makes me cry. Any sentimental moment, sentimental story, any like tragic story. Just when we were at the banquet and the coach was giving a speech, one of the players on the team is her sister, and it's her senior year, and she's graduating. She's done with her volleyball season with school, and her sister's her coach. And so this speech, I mean, immediately, as soon as the coach started talking, I was crying. So, anything like that. Yeah, it doesn't take much to get tears from me. What is your favorite? What is your favorite? Chevy, let's chop that. Okay. What is your favorite magical or mythological animal? My favorite magical or mythological animal. I don't know a lot about like mythological animals. I'd probably say a unicorn because I have lots of daughters and unicorns are a fan favorite of little girls. So I've had a lot of unicorn love in my life. One of my daughters, my second daughter, she was so cute and she is so cute, but she had this curly blonde hair, big curly blonde hair, and she was just the cutest thing, big cherubic like cheeks, just the most precious thing, and she used to call unicorns hornicorns, which is actually like a really accurate name for them. We still call them hornicorns in our house because she always called them a hornicorn when she was little. So I would say hornicorns are my favorite mythological animal. Narwhals too. Are narwhals real? Narwhals might actually be real. Actually, never mind. Sorry, that would sounded really stupid probably. But we have like a whole narwhal series of books that the girls enjoyed when they were little, and that was really fun too to read. Okay, which Hogwarts house do you belong to? So I read Harry Potter back when it came out originally. I think I was like high school aged. I don't really remember anything about it. None of my kids got into Harry Potter, so I couldn't tell you the answer to that question. The better one. I belong to the better one. That's actually something that I've been thinking about rereading maybe, is Harry Potter. Also the Twilight series, when that first came out, I remember reading it and loving it. So I've been considering doing a reread of those. Okay, let's see. The next question is, what do you think of when I say fruit? What do I think of when you say fruit? That's a weird question. What did you just think of when I said fruit? Is that like a thing? So I thought of strawberries. Strawberries, then I went apples and bananas. But that's what I thought of when somebody said fruit. What a weird question that is. Is that something that like different people, I mean obviously different people have different thoughts, but tell me what you thought of when I said the word fruit. What was the first thing that came to mind? I thought strawberries. Okay, that was quick. Do you guys want to do one more rapid fire? Assuming I can find a card that we haven't done. I need to find the box of these and refresh it. Okay, I don't know if I've done this one before, but let's see. Describe yourself in 3 words. Describe myself in 3 words. I would describe myself as organized. I would say empathetic. And I would say maternal. Those are 3 words I would use to describe myself. How would you describe yourself in 3 words? That's kind of hard to do, I think, actually. So describe yourself in 3 words. Have you ever met a celebrity? Yes, I have met. I met Mel Gibson. I've met Jane Seymour, and I've met. Why can't I remember his name? The guy from like Along Came Polly. He's got 3 names. He was kind of nice, but like wouldn't do a picture or anything like that. So, but we met him at an airport leaving LA, actually. So, gosh, what is his name? Why can't I remember? I'll think of it and I'll put it here. Okay, so Jane Seymour was super nice, and so was Mel Gibson, actually. What's your favorite place to nap? My favorite place to nap is in my cozy room here. I like to nap on the couch in this room. I like to lie down under my heated blanket and do some crocheting and watch ASMR, and then I just kind of drift off to sleep. That's like the best way to take a nap for me these days. What is your favorite flower? My favorite flower. I always used to say my favorite flower was Lily of the Valley because I love that they grow wild and they have the most beautiful smell. question. We have another fruit question here. Okay, if you were a fruit, which fruit would you be? If I were a fruit, what fruit would I be? A fruit. What would I be? Probably. I would say probably like a banana, because I feel like a banana is very like, it's very like nourishing. It has lots of like, it's very filling. It has lots of vitamins. And it's, I don't know, there's just something like comforting about a banana. And you can also transport it easily. Not that you can transport me easily. I have no idea why. Maybe I just like bananas. I like bananas because they're like a good fruit. Let me think better about this. Okay, wait, hold on. If I were a fruit, what fruit would I be? I mean, part of me wants to be like a strawberry because it's a little tart and a little sweet, but I'm not that tart. I'm not like sassy or anything. I feel like I'm more like comforting and nurturing and like stable, like a banana. I'm going back to banana. Okay, and the last question on this card is, what is your favorite number? My favorite number is 7. And everybody knows it, so whenever we have to guess a number between 1 and 10, my kids always know which number I'm going to pick. Alright, I have to go see what my naughty dog is barking at. It's probably like a delivery person or something. He just barks and then rolls over on his back and hopes for a treat. So, anyway, thank you for spending a little bit of time with me today. And I hope that this offered you a little bit of calm and peace in your day. I look forward to chatting with you again next week. What is he doing? I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you have to listen to him. He is a good boy, but I should go figure out what he's barking at. Okay, friends.